first. As soon as the other cameras are all set up, we're going to get rocking. So if you're with Instagram, obviously you're the only people hearing me right now. Welcome. Glad you could be here. And thank you all for following me. I'm getting so many followers on Instagram, and I really appreciate that. And it's funny, different people have different things. The older population likes Facebook, younger population likes Instagram. TikTok, of course, the much younger generation. So whatever works best for you really is what we're looking for. And that's why we stream on all different platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. So we're going to put it out there every way we possibly can, because we want to reach as many people as we can. So if you like what you're hearing, please tell your friends to follow us as well. You can share the link for today's talk and get that out to your friends, because the more followers we have, the better off we're going to be. The more followers we have, the algorithms will pick us up. And they'll say, ooh, more people like this guy. I guess he must be good, so then more people like us. You know, my friend Tim always says the best way to draw a crowd is to have a crowd. And it's true. You know, I remember back in college hearing a speaker say, people go where people go because people go where people go. And I thought, yeah, that's true. I want to go there. And even Yogi Berra said one time, if you remember who Yogi Berra was, he had these yogi-isms. He said, nobody goes there anymore. It's too crowded. So it's kind of like that's what it is. And so the more you share this information with other people, the more likely we are to get more followers. And I appreciate that. If you like what you're hearing, I certainly like that. So John's still trying to set up those final cameras now. Having a little bit of a glitch here, but, you know, it happens. There we are. Now we're ready. Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. All our cameras are working. I'm ready to go. The way this works is I'm going to talk for 24 minutes. Whatever platform you're on, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, whatever it is, you can type in any questions that you have, any health questions. John, my producer, will read me the questions at the end of the first 24 minutes. Then we do another 24 minutes, and John reads me more questions. So this is an amazing opportunity for you to get your health questions answered. So I'm John. I'm ready to go whenever you are. Let's get rocking here. Ready? Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito here. We're going to talk today about habits to help you lose weight. Everybody wants to lose a few pounds. Most people want to lose a few pounds. Can never say everybody and always and never. Most people want to lose a few pounds. And it's challenging. And the older you get, the harder it is. So just so you know, as you're getting older, you're not alone. Well, Doc, I'm eating right. I'm exercising. I don't understand it. One rule about weight loss is this: you can't outrun your fork. About 80-85% of weight loss comes from diet. Only about 10% comes from exercise. So don't think you're going to eat and then work out. And don't use this excuse. Well, I just worked out, so I deserve a blank, a beer, a cookie, a cake, a chicken wing. No. Don't reverse all the benefits you got from working out by eating bad foods. So we're going to talk about habits to do every day. It's really not necessarily about how to lose weight. It's habits that help you lose weight. So if you're serious about wanting to get this under control, not for a week, not for a month, this is a lifetime. Okay, there was a song by Little River Band, and one of the lines was, I'm talking about a lifetime plan. And this is it. I'm talking about a lifetime plan, because this is not just weight loss, it's health. And it's very tempting when it comes to food, because we have so much food available now. When I was young, we were poor, and we went out to dinner once a year with my grandfather, my German grandfather, and he paid. And I remember being a young kid and thinking, why is Grandpa paying? His name was Upa. Why did Upa pay for our meals? It's his birthday. As a kid, you thought it was your birthday. You get presents, you know. We didn't go out to dinner, though. We couldn't afford it. And if there's one tip I can give you that's going to be really helpful, not just for weight loss, but for overall health, longevity, decreasing your risk of heart disease, diabetes, cancer, all-cause mortality we talk about, is cook at home. Make your meals at home. I'd say eat at home, but now we have these services where people just bring you the food from the restaurants. That doesn't count. Cook your own meals. If you don't know what to cook, I'll start out right away. Send me an email through my website, drjoe.com. I will send you a copy of a book that I wrote called Eating Right for the Health of It. Wrote this several years ago. And the first half of the book tells you how to change your diet. And the second half is over 200 recipes. Every one of them ridiculously easy. And it's a PDF. I will send it to you absolutely free, no charge. Just send me an email through the website, drjoe.com, and just say, hey, I want a copy of your Eating Right book. Just have to say Eating Right, and I'll know what it is. So I'm going to give you all the tools you need. What you do with these tools is totally up to you. So the first thing we have to do when it comes to eating is pay attention to what you're eating. One of the worst things we can do, and I'm guilty of it, is not paying attention, watching TV, talking to people. You have to think, how am I eating? Not just what am I eating, but how am I eating? Am I just eating mindlessly to fill myself up? I do it sometimes. Sometimes I'm at the office, it's crazy busy. I've got to get some food in my body. I'm going to pass out otherwise. So I'll eat something quickly and I don't focus on it. But the difference is I bring my lunch every day. It's extremely rare that I go out to lunch, and if it is, it's always for business. I have to meet another doctor or lawyer or whatever, and I'll go out for business. But other than that, I pack my lunch every day. So I always think, what can I make on a weekend? And it's one of my things I'm going to talk about is plan your meals and your snacks that I can eat throughout the week. So this week I made something called dal, D-A-L, and it's lentils and Indian spices, and it's really good. And I have a little thermos. And I filled up my thermos, and I ate it, a couple of times a day, a couple of times throughout the week, maybe 3-4 times. And one thing I do is when I eat a cooked meal, this helps tremendously with weight loss as well as digestion, is if I eat a cooked meal like dal, let's say, I'm going to take digestive enzymes, Dr. Joe's digestive enzymes. Because when I was young, I produced a lot of enzymes. So did you. As you get older, your enzyme level production drops dramatically. So what can we do about that? Take some digestive enzymes. Really cheap. If I eat something heavy, like let's say lentils or something like that, I'll take 2 digestive enzymes. If I'm eating just a regular light meal, I'll take 1. And let me tell you, the bloating, the gas, the fat, the puffy feeling, the poofy feeling, those could just go away when you take the digestive enzymes. When you were young, you didn't have these problems, right? You could eat anything you wanted. You didn't blow up like a balloon. Now you do. It's usually the enzymes. So those are on the website, drjoe.com. But if you eat mindlessly, you're going to consume calories you not even realize you're eating. You're just going to shove stuff in your throat. So sit down at the table, eat from a plate. I know it sounds silly, but don't eat out of containers. And if you're watching TV while you're eating, focus on the meal. Okay? Notice every bite. Oh, I'm going to have a bite of broccoli right now. Okay, I'm going to have some rice. Whatever it is, focus on it. You could even name the food that you're going to put in your mouth. And it's amazing how much less you'll eat and how much better you'll feel. And the reason is it takes 20 minutes to get the message from your stomach to your brain. So if I'm going to eat, I don't know, Thanksgiving dinner, we'll make it really big, a big Thanksgiving dinner, big Christmas dinner. If I'm going to eat that and I'm hungry and I sit down, I eat for 20 minutes and I'm having turkey and stuffing and gravy and mashed potatoes, whatever's in the meal, in 20 minutes I'm going to be stuffed. If I had some water, I'm going to talk about that in a second, and a snack 20 minutes before the meal, let's assume I have a couple of handfuls of walnuts or almonds or pecans, I'm going to eat so much less. I'm going to make so many better decisions, and I'm going to be so happy that I did this. So we're talking about how to eat now, not so much what to eat. So even if I'm going to sit down, now I don't eat meat, so it wouldn't matter to me, but a turkey dinner with stuffing and gravy and all the fixins, if I have a snack beforehand, wait 20 minutes, I'm going to only eat the foods I really like. I'm going to eat it in small amounts, and I'm going to be much healthier for it. That's a simple habit. Never go to the table hungry. So I have to disagree with all the mamas out there. Don't eat that. You're going to ruin your appetite. Good. It's one of the best things you can do is ruin your appetite. You're going to make better decisions. So that's an action step you can do. And so take 5 minutes before a meal, or actually 20 minutes before a meal, have a little snack, have some water, and watch what happens. Now, planning your meals is so important because if I don't plan my meal, and it happens, I eat mindlessly. What do I got in my cabinet that I can eat? And I'll have a little buffet. Maybe I'll have some gluten-free crackers. I'll have some almond butter. I'll have maybe a can of something, a can of beans or something like that. I know I eat weird. And by the time I'm done, I've eaten a lot more than just a meal. If I have a meal with, a boundary around it, this is how much food I'm going to eat at this meal, I eat a lot less. When I don't have boundaries, I just keep eating. So sitting down and having a meal is really important. Another thing you want to do is don't shop hungry. Anybody ever do this aside from me? Yeah. You go to the grocery store, you're thinking, I've been good lately. I'm going to have one of these. I've been good lately. I'm going to have one of that. And that's horrible. Never shop hungry because if you're like me, you have no control. I'm just going to get this one time. Oh, these are on sale. How about that? How many people think that when things are on sale, they don't have any calories? They're not toxic anymore. Yeah, it's on sale, so I'm going to get a little bit of ice cream because I deserve a treat. that's when you start making bad mistakes, expensive mistakes, not only cost of the food, but the cost to your health. Think about that. The cost to your health is way more expensive than the cost of the food. So just be careful what you're eating, folks. It makes such a difference. You're going to save so much money. I tell every patient that comes in our office, I've been in practice 40 years now. Every patient that comes in the office, we do a nutrition evaluation on. And I tell them all this. I said, do what I say and be amazed how much money you save in 60 days. Just monitor your wallet. I had a guy come in a couple of months ago, and he was pretty defiant that I didn't know what I was talking about, and he was going to stick with his lifestyle. His wife made him come in. And he told me straight out, I'm not going to do what you say. I said, all right, it's fine, whatever. And so he started doing it. He said, fine, I'll do it. His wife was up his fanny, so he did it. And he comes in and he says, Doc, I got to tell you, first of all, I was totally wrong about you, about everything you teach. He goes, it wasn't that you were wrong. I knew you were right. I didn't want to give up my foods, my scotch, my steak dinners. I didn't want to change that. He says, my wife made me do it. And let me tell you, he says, at the end of the week, I have a wallet full of money. He says, I always thought that I had to make more money. I don't have to make more money. I have to stop spending on stupid foods. I have so much more money. He said, I've lost, I think he said 20, 25 pounds. He says, I feel great. I have more energy. My love life, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, is much better than it's ever been. He says, so Doc, I want to admit to you I was wrong, first of all, and thank you for giving this information. And then he said something I hear all the time. Why doesn't everybody do this? Why don't other doctors teach this? And the answer is, I don't know. Well, I do know. I lied to you. Doctors are not taught nutrition. How many people are taught nutrition in this world? Very, very few. And even dietitians. I was a dietitian for a long time, and I let my license lapse. Because I remember going to meetings, and I was the only guy there, which I didn't mind that at all. I thought that was kind of cool. But most of the people there were overweight, and many of them morbidly obese. And I remember saying one time, they were serving pigs in a blanket, coffee, artificial sweeteners, cakes, snack food. And I said to the woman in charge, I said, shouldn't we put on a show at least for each other? And she said, oh, go on, it's just a party. And I went on. I left, never renewed my license. I said, I'm done. I can't deal with people who are teaching nutrition to us and our children and setting parameters for society that are morbidly obese. You can't be healthy at any weight. That's a lie. I'm sorry. Some of you may yell at me. You may send me emails. You can't be healthy at any weight. Because fat cells, and I used to be fat, so I can say the F word. Fat cells produce things like estrogens. They produce toxins. They store toxins. They rob your body of vitamin D. A, D, E, and K, actually, vitamins. So there's a lot of downsides to being overweight. Stress on the joints alone, from a physical standpoint. So I couldn't buy what they were selling. I couldn't agree with the fact that these are the people making decisions in our lives for healthcare, and they're not healthy. I said, if I want to go to a banker, I want a banker who makes more than I do. If I want to go to a doctor, I want a doctor who's healthier than I am. If I'm going to use a trainer, I want a trainer who's in better shape than I am. So those are some of my parameters, and you can steal them if you want to. But planning your meal is really important because I say on the weekends usually, and a lot of times I'm busy on the weekends, so I don't do it. But I'll make a big thing of Instapot. I have an Instapot and I have a crock pot of soup. Personally, I like the soups in the crock pot better. The Instapot's a pressure cooker. I like the flavor, but then there's a time involved. I mean, in an Instapot, you can make rice in 12 minutes. Perfect rice every time. But you can make soups in less than an hour. So I'll make the soups and I'll lay it out. I'll say, okay, how many days a week do I want to eat this? Maybe 3 weeks, 4 days, whatever it is. And I'll freeze the rest. And then on weekends, when I don't have time, because I'm out hiking or whatever, I'll say, what do I got in the freezer? I got frozen cabbage. I got frozen split pea soup. I got frozen whatever. And then I'll just thaw it out, and then I'll have that extra meal or two. And it's so much cheaper. If you order lunch, I see this. You order lunch, you got to pay for the lunch, you got to pay for a tip, you got to pay for the delivery service. It's not going to be quality food in most cases anyway. And you're tipping you're not even sitting in a restaurant. And you're sitting at your desk, which means you're probably not eating in the right way anyway. You're shoveling the food down. So think about these steps that you can take no matter what your motivation is. You want to be healthier, you want to lose weight, you want to live longer, you want to save money. It's all the same thing. That's the cool part. and try to have your meals at regular times. I have in the morning Super Green Essential Source, vitamin D, creatine, and magnesium, and I make a shake out of that every morning, and I drink that. Then I take my supplements as well. Then I'll have some fruit usually, peaches, pears, bananas, pineapples, whatever it is. So I'll have some fruit, and right around 10 o'clock I get hungry. So then I say, I'm going to need a snack right now because otherwise I'm going to get hungry. I'm going to make bad choices. So a snack could be fruit. Snack could be chia pudding. I make chia pudding. Really easy to make. And I know Costco had these big bags of organic chia seeds for like $10. And you take 2 tablespoons of chia. You add about a cup and a half of plant milk. You could add some vanilla if you want to. Sweeten it with stevia if you want to. That's fine. And just leave it in the refrigerator overnight. And it becomes a slimy kind of chia pudding, they call it. But let me tell you, it's so filling. It's high in soluble and insoluble fiber. Things are really good for the immune system, high in omega-3 fatty acids. So it's a really good, quick, easy, inexpensive snack. And the fiber far outweighs even the calories. Because you have to do what's called, you have to look at your net carbs. And net carbs are how many carbs are there, minus how many grams of fiber there is, that's how many carbs there are. So the fiber usually outweighs the carbs even in something like that. So you're eating a calorie-free meal, basically. And then come lunch, then I decide what to do. Is it soup? Is it salad? Is it both? Many times I'll pack soup and salad, only eat one. I don't feel like eating 2 because it's something like the chia seeds are so filling. And then I have nuts and seeds in my office as well. I can always have a couple of handfuls of nuts. So folks, you're just tuning in. I'm Dr. Joe Esposito. We're talking today about habits to help you lose weight because I think most people want to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds or more. So I am not going to finish today's notes. I'm not even going to come close. I may have to do part 2, actually. So if you want a copy of today's notes, just go to my website, drjoe.com. Just say, what can we call this? Weight loss notes, okay? Weight loss habits. I will send you the show notes absolutely free. It's my gift to you. And while I'm being generous, a while ago I did some courses for my friends who are surgeons because when people do surgery, if you're not healthy enough, they won't do surgery on you. You have to get what's called medical clearance. And so my friend said, hey, Joe, I got this patient with high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, smoking. Can you teach them how to fight these things, get them normalized so that I can go ahead and do the surgery? Because the patient isn't getting the care they need. Doctors aren't getting paid. Insurance companies are sitting on these cases. And the patient wants to get treatment too. And they're like, I can't. I got high blood pressure. So I've put together packages on high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, and smoking. If you want, today we're talking about weight loss. I'll send all 4 if you want. I'll send them to you absolutely free. Now, normally I sell these to the patient, and it includes a bundle of supplements. Now, I'm not going to give you the bundle of supplements for free, but I'll give you the whole class for free, my gift to you. Just send me an email through the website, drjoe.com, and say you want the weight loss class, a weight loss course. I will send it to you, my gift to you. You want the notes, weight loss notes. I'll send you both if you want. I don't care. But I want to give you all the tools that you need to get well and stay well. One of the things I find when I was overweight was that I didn't feel like exercising. And a lot of people don't feel like moving or eating good foods because they're in pain. Neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling. So if you have pain, I want you to make an appointment to come see us. The Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. Normally the first visit is $940. For you, my listeners, I've reduced that to $299. That's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first treatment, going over the x-rays, and a complete nutrition evaluation. It's my gift to you. $299 if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. Just book an appointment. That's what you'll be charged. We file most insurances, so if we get paid, we'll even reimburse you. So drjoe.com. Book your appointments right now for you, your friends, and your family, and stop suffering needlessly. Because so many times we come to weight loss, high blood pressure, diabetes, there's a structural component. The bones are out of place. They're pinching nerves. I give a whole lecture on the neurology of weight loss. But we got to get the nervous system working. Got to get the digestive system working. When I was fat, I had a horrible digestive system. Now that I'm skinny, I've gotten my digestive system under control. It's much better. So drjoe.com. I'd love to be your doctor. If you want to make an appointment, if you have any questions, you can send it to me through the website as well, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. So we're talking today about habits to help you lose weight. You got to build regular meal times because then it helps prevent extreme hunger. Because if I get hungry, I'm not going to make good decisions. I don't know about you, but I've made some bad decisions in my life. And around food is certainly an area. So if you're hungry, you're going to say, I just need something to fill me up right now. Let me grab that donut. Let me grab that bagel. Let me grab this bread. And it's not going to be a good choice. And usually the foods you grab, ironically, actually get you hungrier long term because they're sugars. They break down. Sugar increases a hormone in your gut called ghrelin. Ghrelin goes into the hypothalamus in your brain. Hypothalamus says you're full or hungry. So if I'm eating sugar, releasing ghrelin, ghrelin's going to go to my brain and say I'm still hungry. And here's why. When you're hungry, you're not hungry for food. You're hungry for nutrition. So if I give my body high qualities of nutrition, yeah, I'm still going to be hungry. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to take Super Greens and Essential Source and be full. No, but you're able to manage the weight so much better. So the minimum supplements, let me cover that. Super Greens and Essential Source really help when you're eating a good diet to curb your appetite. Not by itself. You're not going to take Super Greens and Essential Source and say, I'm full. But when it helps you make better decisions and it makes you control your diet much better. Vitamin D3 with K2 is so important for so many things, including weight loss. And then B complex is necessary to make the nervous system work. Now, that's the minimum supplements I would suggest. Super Green Essential Source, B complex, and vitamin D. They're on the website, drjoe.com. I take about 10 other supplements as well. Men's hormone support, nitric oxide, omega-3 fatty acids, estrogen regulator. I take a bunch of different supplements. Because supplements, in my opinion, are not luxuries, they're necessities. And so if you want a protocol, send me any questions you have. I'll send you a protocol through the website, drjoe.com. If you want the starter kit, Super Green Essential Source, B complex, and vitamin D, that's about $5 a day. I know you're spending $5 on stupider things. I know you are. Stop spending on stupid things. Let's get some supplements in your body. Another thing we have to do is we have to start eating intentionally and not just from a package. I know that sounds a little woo-woo, a little airy-fairy. But when food comes from a box or package, your brain is less likely to register fullness. And there's lots of studies on that you can do whole food, plant-based, or you can do packaged foods, and you're going to eat. In fact, they did a study. I can't remember the name of the study, though. But they gave two different groups of people as much food as they wanted. One of it was whole food, plant-based food. The other one was packaged foods. And the people that ate the packaged foods, on average, ate 500 calories or more a day. So we have plenty of documentation on this. So have a salad every day. Have a bag of carrots as a snack as opposed to some candy bars. You can grab a bag of carrots for $1.50, $2. Organic baby carrots. Not really baby carrots. They just shave down big carrots. But grab a bag of shaved carrots, baby carrots, and eat those. High in fiber, help your bowels move better, help clean out your digestive system, help you lose weight, give you lots of vitamins, minerals, nutrients, beta-carotene. So why wouldn't you do that? And it's a whole lot cheaper than a candy bar. So wait a minute. What you're telling me, Dr. Joe, is that if I eat right, I'm going to save money, feel better, live longer, lose weight, help prevent chronic diseases, reduce inflammation, help my brain, help my love life. Where's the downside? Where's the catch? There is no catch. The catch is you'll get healthy. And the only downside, and I say this to patients a lot, the only good thing about bad foods is that they taste good. And they do. We have an area of science called food science, and the food science is designed to make you eat more food. So we'll use things like monosodium glutamate, autolyzed yeast, hydrolyzed vegetable protein, and the glutamic acid stimulates the umami taste buds, that's a real word, umami taste buds on your tongue, and it makes the food taste better. And so what do you want to do? You want to eat more. And that's what food science is. Some of it is health and things like that, but a lot of it is how can I get you, the consumer, to buy more of my product? And that's okay. That's capitalism. I'm fine with it, but you don't have to fall for it. You now have the tools to not fall for that trick because I'm going to give you lots of nutrients, Super Green Essential Source, B complex, vitamin D, and that's going to help get your body nourished so that you can make better decisions. Had a patient come in a while ago. I've told this story before. And she said, Dr. Joe, I need to talk to you right away. I said, what? She goes, I can't afford not to take your supplements. Now, my brain, I'm processing, I can't afford to take your supplements. And I was ready to go into this diatribe of, well, it's a lot cheaper to take the supplements than to eat bad food. She goes, no. I can't afford not to take your supplements. I'm eating so much less food. I'm losing weight. I have more energy. I'm working more hours. I'm a better wife. I'm really enjoying my kids again for the first time in years. She goes, and I'm saving money. Even paying for your supplements, I'm saving money. I don't know how to make it easier for you, folks. And if you want the supplements, they're on the website, drjoe.com, drjoe.com. Eat slowly. Eating 500 calories in 5 minutes. You know what's powerful? Eating the same amount of food in 20 minutes and feeling full. So if I eat 500 calories in 5 minutes, I'm not going to feel full because it's got to take about 20 minutes to get to my brain. If I eat 500 calories over a 20-minute span, I'm going to be full, and I'm going to make better decisions. So it takes 20 minutes to get the body message from your stomach to your brain because there's a hormone called leptin that's reduced from your stomach, produced in your stomach and your fat cells, that goes into your hypothalamus and makes you feel full. So eating slower is going to make you feel full. I'm looking at the clock. I got to go to break. My goodness. I'm not going to cover my notes today, so if you want a copy of today's show notes, just send me an email through the website, drjoe.com. You can call it Diet Secrets if you want to. I'll know what it is, the show notes. And if you want a copy of my class, the course we did, it's free. Normally we sell it. I'm going to give it to you for free. I'm not going to give you the supplements, though, for free. But just say you want the weight loss course. I'll send it to you, drjoe.com. Follow me on social media. We post twice a day, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Twice a day we post. So I give you all this information. I'm assuming you like it. You wouldn't be listening. I want you to follow me on all platforms. That's your homework. That's your payment back to me. Any questions, send it to me through the website, drjoe.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Boom. Part 1 done. What you got?
Dr. Joe, I beat pancreas cancer, but I've read more on it. It usually comes back sooner or later. So what diet should I follow?
Send me an email through the website. I'll send you a show I did all on cancer. And it gives a breakdown. It's basically what I'm teaching you. Plant-based diet, lots of studies on cancer and plant-based diets. Not saying I have a cure for cancer, but we do want to alkalize the system and get the body healthy. So if you beat it once, let's keep you healthy so it hopefully doesn't come back. Just say, send me your cancer show, and I'll send it to you. No charge. My gift to you. What else you got?
What are your thoughts on those Goli gummies?
Goli gummies. Is that
Goli.
Is that the apple cider vinegar ones, maybe? They're okay, but it's sugar, and I don't know if they have gelatin in it, which I'm not a fan of. So, I don't think it's enough, if you talk about the apple cider vinegar ones, it's not enough to have a medicinal benefit. You need about a tablespoon or two, and I don't think you're going to get that in a gummy like that. So I don't like apple cider vinegar, to be honest with you. So I use it as a salad dressing. This way I get it in my system. But I don't think they're bad unless they have gelatin in it. I'm not sure. I've never had them. But the sugar alone probably negates it. So it's probably neutral. I don't think it's really necessary. So what else?
What do you eat when you're craving a cheeseburger?
I miss my double beef cheeseburgers. Double beef cheese Whoppers. I always said that would be the thing I'd eat if I was on death row. I just don't eat it. It's like I don't have to substitute for that. And if you want something savory, mushrooms are really good for that. Super Green's an essential source, of course, is great for cravings. But there's a lot of things you may want that you don't act on. Anybody ever get mad in traffic and you want to slam your car into somebody? Well, you just don't act on it. Why? Because the consequences are tremendous if you did. You might see a pretty person, boy, girl, whatever, I don't know, whatever you're attracted to, and you don't act on it because it's illegal, you know. So just because you have a craving for something doesn't mean you have to act on it. That's called self-discipline. So yeah, I crave, I think about it, but I don't eat it. I always said I like Olivia Newton-John. I can't have her. But she's not with us anymore. But I always joked I had a crush on Olivia Newton-John. There's some things you just can't have in life. It's okay to have a crush on it. Just don't do anything about it. So, what else?
I'm a middle-aged adult male. Should I be able to touch my toes?
Probably. I can't. The only time I could ever touch my toes is when I used to play hockey. And after a hockey game, I was flexible enough to touch my toes. But I have a fracture in my low back, and that causes my hamstrings to tighten up to protect that area. So you should be able to, yeah. So maybe start taking some yoga classes or some stretching. Just getting out and walking will loosen up the muscles too. But just laying in bed. Lay in bed and just start stretching your legs out a little bit. You know, if you don't want to go to the gym or something like that, every chance you get, and I do that too. I do my show standing up. Why? It's a great opportunity to work out. So every chance you get, start stretching. I think you'll be very happy with the results. What else?
Should carrots be cooked to get the most amount of nutrients?
There's some benefits to cooking it, and there's some benefits to eating it raw. So that's why I recommend eating a combination of both. So, yeah, I always say I have something raw at every meal, but it's okay to eat cooked food too. We're ready? John looks ready to go to part 2. All right, another sip of tea here. All right, ready to go? Hey, folks, Dr. Joe Esposito. If you stayed with me, thank you. If you just joined me, thank you. I appreciate that. And we're talking today about diet secrets, lifestyle changes that you can make to help lose weight. Because most people wouldn't mind losing a few pounds. Some people like to lose a lot of pounds. And it's not a diet. Diets don't work ever. I'll tell you a story. Years ago, there's a big company, you know the name, I won't say them, and they help people lose weight. My mother used to join them, and she'd lose weight, and then she'd gain weight and lose weight and gain weight. And I contacted them, and I said, listen, guys, I said, what you're doing is you're giving people points on their food. If you point here, point there, whatever. And I said, but your long-term success is miserable. I said, how about I come in and start giving lectures for you guys, and you could, stream them all across the country. And we'll talk about the diet and the digestive system and the hunger and the leptin and the ghrelin and the supplementation and everything. And they finally got back to me. And they said, and they were real honest, they said, why would we hire you? If people listen to you, they don't need us. Profound statement, wasn't it? And I thought, okay, you win. I can't argue that point. I'll put you out of business. So lifestyle is way better than any diet. In fact, again, most people have diet, they gain the weight right back, even with these GLP-1 drugs. I had 2 patients last week. One of them, she's just a mess. She's in pain. She's got gas and bloating. She had a piece of her colon removed. I mean, she is just a health mess. And her husband was there, and he said she's been wanting to do those injections. And I said, well, let me explain something to you, and I can give you a list of side effects as to why I don't recommend them. But the weight you lose, 30 to 40% of the weight you lose is going to be muscle mass. Now, I don't know about you, but at my age, it's really hard to build muscle. I can maintain, but it's really hard to build muscle. And he said, exactly, I've told her that before. She's not going to keep her muscles if she does this. And I said, well, you're right, and I hate to agree with him, but you're right. So I said, what if we could lose the weight without losing the muscles? Oh, I like that idea. Now, GLP-1s are quick. They work because they shut down your hunger. But then you run the risk of bowel obstruction or bowel shutting down. It's called gastroparesis. You run the risk of losing muscle mass, eye issues, neurological issues. And we don't know the long-term damage of this yet. And so far, in our society, in my lifetime anyway, we have seen a lot of weight loss pills come and go. There was something called AIDS. Remember AIDS? It was a caramel you'd chew to lose weight. Then AIDS came out. I'm sure they weren't happy with that choice of names. You had fen-phen. You had Redox. Every drug that promised to be the greatest thing ever has failed. Is this going to be the one that doesn't fail? I don't know. I don't think so. So there's a lot better things you can do aside from that are lifetime, long-term things. And as soon as you stop taking the GLP-1s, guess what? Most of the people gain their weight back and more. And now they don't have the muscle mass either. So their metabolism is worse. So they gain more weight back. Elvis Presley said, I'm caught in a trap. And that's it, man. You're caught in a trap. And I'm sorry, man. I understand. I used to be fat. So I understand the struggle. And I don't think about my meals every day anymore. I think about my meals every meal. Is this the best choice? And it's been an evolution. Over my life, I've gotten better and better and better and better. So if I go to a Mexican restaurant, I used to love chips. I remember being in college, eating as many chips as I could because they were free and I didn't have any money. Then I said, all right, I'm going to limit my chips to 6 chips because you have to do something, okay? So this is my progression. Your progression can be whatever it is. And now I tell them not to bring the chips. I don't eat Mexican food that often anyway, but if they bring the chips, I'm going to be tempted. So I said, don't bring the chips. In fact, if you want to, bring the chips after you've served the meal. And then once I have the food in my gut, I can make better decisions. But again, I try not to ever go to a meal hungry because I'm going to make bad decisions. Avoid eating late night. After dinner, you're tired, your mind wanders, your willpower gets weak, and mindless snacking skyrockets. So here's a rule I want you to follow for every day for the rest of your life. I want you to give yourself 12 hours of not eating. People say 12 hours of not eating. I can't do that. All right, so if I have dinner at 5 o'clock at night, I can't eat again until 5 o'clock in the morning. It's called intermittent fasting. Now, 12 hours is the minimum. Can never break that rule. Now, if I, for some reason, eat late, which I never do, but let's just say I do, well, then I'm going to push my breakfast back 12 hours. And the longer you go to a point, the better off you're going to be. it helps with something called autophagy. Autophagy is the body eating dead cells and cleaning it up. And so if you're constantly putting food in, autophagy is at a minimum. When you give yourself a little fasting time, autophagy skyrockets. So at least 12 hours a day, 14 hours, 16 hours. Many times, if it's like a weekend, I'll try to have an early dinner. Let's say 4 o'clock, and I'll have an early dinner, and then I won't eat again until 8 o'clock the next morning. So 4 to 8 is now 12, 13, 16 hours. That's a great intermittent fast. And you feel so much better when you do it. Because here's the thing. It's okay to be hungry. Let me say that again. It's okay to be hungry. So many of us don't understand that. I'm hungry. Something's wrong. I have to eat. No. I'm not going to die from hunger for 2 hours, 3 hours. So a little hunger is actually good for you. Keeps you on your toes, keeps you on your edge. And I've had a lot of people when it comes to romantic issues, and they say, we're in a loveless marriage, romanticless marriage, I should say, and we don't know what to do about that. Well, one of the reasons is you're full all the time. You're bloated, you're fat, you're producing estrogen, you're gassy. Well, if we start taking these intermittent fasts in there, your body starts to regenerate itself. And a lot of times you're eating bad foods like dairy products, meats, very high in estrogen. Estrogens counteract testosterone. So we can get things up and running again in the romantic department if we just give our body a break. And it's good for it. So there's no downside to it at all. Now, unless you're hypoglycemic and you're crashing, that's different. But other than that, you're fine. So avoid those late night snacks. Set up a kitchen is closed rule. And what I do, my trick, and boy, I have to do this to myself and because I feel bad. I know all this stuff, is if I'm going to eat, I have to brush my teeth afterwards. If I brush my teeth afterwards, I'm done for the night. I don't want to brush my teeth a second time because I'm lazy. And so I say, all right, if I brush my teeth, I go for some popcorn. Nope, not going to do it. And then I'm done. So that's a little trick. Works for me. It might work for you too. Now, if you snack during the day, you want to avoid the sugary snacks because sugar actually makes you hungrier. Bread makes you hungrier. So the carbohydrates, the simple carbs, make you hungrier. So if you're going to snack on something, snack on apples, maybe with some almond butter or some cashew butter. You can have like a vegan Greek yogurt with some berries in it. I have in my car, I know it's weird, in my car I have a bag of pumpkin seeds. So if I'm hungry, if I'm going to dinner and I'm hungry, I'll break out the bag of pumpkin seeds. I'll have 3 or 4 handfuls. Now, pumpkin seeds are high in selenium and zinc, very good for prostate and overall health. They can help kill off parasites. And I'm not going to go to dinner hungry because I don't want to make bad decisions. You just have to be objective with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. Why am I eating like this? Why am I overweight? And I've had patients already come in and argue with me. Well, Doc, I eat right. If you ate right, you wouldn't be this big. I'm going to give you some tough love there. And once I get them on the supplements, Super Green Essential Source, Vitamin D, B Complex, other supplements, nitric oxide, and they start feeling this energy, they start making better decisions. If I'm tired, I don't make good decisions. I don't know about you, but I'm not real good at making decisions when I'm exhausted or when I'm just so overweight and bloated. I say, well, what the heck? What's one more cookie going to do? I always say I can't eat cookies. I can eat a box of cookies, but I can't eat a cookie. Because once I have that cookie, sugar goes into my body, stimulates the nucleus accumbens in my brain, or accumbens, releases dopamine. Dopamine gives me pleasure. What do I want? More pleasure. Dopamine becomes norepinephrine, which gives me a quick burst of energy, and I want to eat more. So I can't have that cookie. So the rule I want you to use is get the bad food out of the house. Get the bad food out of the house. Because if I'm in my house and I open a refrigerator and I've got cookies and cakes and donuts, even though I'm plant-based, maybe a plant-based cheesecake, first thing I'm going to do is eat that. If I open my refrigerator and there's nothing in there but carrots and celery, and in my pantry I got a couple of cans of beans, fine, I'll eat that. So it's a struggle for all of us. Well, most of us anyway. It's a struggle for me. So we're talking today, I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, if you're just tuning in. We're talking today about tips on how to lose weight, diet secrets, but not diet, lifestyle secrets that help you lose weight. Now, some people can skip breakfast. I can't. I like my breakfast. When I wake up in the morning, I look forward to breakfast. And so I have my Super Green Essential Source, B Complex, magnesium, glutathione and vitamin D. I have a little, like a magic bullet. I'll put in some frozen berries. I just got a bunch of pomegranates. I found a really cool way to clean pomegranates. Got to make a video on it. It's so fast. And so I put some frozen pomegranates in there, some frozen strawberries, almond milk, coconut milk, whip it up, drink it first thing in the morning. I look forward to that. So I'm better intermittent fasting, leaving out my night meals. Some people can leave out their morning meals. Whatever works best for you. There's a song, gosh, I was 28 years old. Oleta Adams had a song. And the line in the song is, I don't care how you get here, just get here if you can. And I love that line. I don't care when you intermittent fast, as long as you do. I don't care when you take your supplements, as long as you do. So I don't care how you make these decisions, just make them. Vegetables and whole foods, they're just your friend. And if you're going to eat starches, rice, quinoa, I want you to do something called resistant starch. And what you do is, let's assume you're going to cook up some rice. Organic California rice is going to have the least amount of arsenic, and white rice is going to be better for you than brown rice. I know that sounds strange, but the brown rice has higher levels of arsenic. Arsenic's a heavy metal, causes toxicity. So get your, my Instapot. I'll cook up some rice, and I'll put it in the refrigerator overnight. And when I do that, I create something called a resistant starch, which means I'm going to absorb, depending on a study you read, 40, 50% less carbohydrates, less calories than if I ate the rice fresh. Cook it, put it in the refrigerator overnight. Now, you want to eat it the next day or two because rice can become, get toxic after a while. It goes bad. So I'll eat the rice, and now you can heat it up again. That's fine. And each time you heat it and cool it, it becomes more and more resistant. So it's kind of cool. So let's assume I'm going to make a soup, a vegetable soup, carrots, onions, celery, vegetable broth, cook it up together. That's great. I add some resistant starch rice in there, or some quinoa, even better. I'm going to feel full. I'm going to save a whole lot of money. Going to be a great source of nutrition for my body. So make these foods your friends. So if I take carrots, onions, and celery and make a soup out of it or a stew, and I want to add some tofu to it if I want to, because I don't eat meat. If you're going to eat meat, make sure it's organic. And throw in some resistant starch grains. Wow, I just saved a ton of money. Feel great. Not going to gain weight with it. Why wouldn't I do that? Now, the only reason I can come up with is you have to put a little bit of work into it. With an Instapot, I have no association with the Instapot company. I can cut up some carrots, onions, and celery, and I don't even have to cut them up. You can buy them cut up if you want to. But I'll take the baby carrots. Sometimes if I'm lazy, throw them in. Just chop up the celery pretty big, throw it in. Dice up some onions, throw it in, water and vegetable broth. I'll usually saute the onions, carrots, and celery first, just to break it down a little bit. It releases some of the starches. Throw in some vegetable broth, cook it for 20 minutes, half hour. I've got soup. Lentils, split peas, same things. Onions, carrots, celery, split peas, lentils, beans. Put it in the Instapot. 20 minutes later, I got soup. So that's just one of the many things you can do to lose weight. So vegetables are great. They're high in fiber. So every meal you have, try to have at least half your meal vegetables. Have a salad. And if you don't know what to eat, because I know prices are just insane at restaurants, there's a place called Salata. It's a chain in the Atlanta area. I don't know if they're anywhere else. For $12, you can get a big enough salad, and you're going to get 2 meals out of it. It's great. Jason's Deli, I know they're all over the country. They have a salad bar, $11, $12. And you can eat one big bowl. You go once, but the bowls are huge. And so something like that is going to save you money and at least give you fiber. Now, it's not organic lettuce. I understand that. Better choices. It's all about better choices. Don't be the best choice, just the best choice I can make at that moment in time. And we've got to get the body healthy. And in order for the body to get healthy, you have to have good diet. You have to have a normally functioning digestive system, and you have to have good nutrition, and you have to have a normally functioning nervous system as well. So what do we got to do to get the nervous system working? So the nervous system controls everything. Controls hunger, controls thirst, controls metabolism. If you have back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, chances are you have pinched nerves. That's usually the cause of pain. So my team of doctors and I are really good at getting to the cause of patients' pain. So if you want to make an appointment to come see us, and you should, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. Just go to my website, drjoe.com, book an appointment. Stop suffering needlessly. Every week, almost every day, somebody comes in and says, Dr. Joe, I've been following you for 2 years, 5 years. Patients, 40 years, they've been following me. And I've been meaning to make an appointment. Why didn't I do this sooner? I hear it all the time. Why didn't I do this sooner? I don't know. So just go to drjoe.com. Normally the first visit is $940. We've reduced that to $299. And that's an exam, x-rays, consultation, first treatment, going over the x-rays on your follow-up visit, and a complete nutrition evaluation. $299. We cover. We're under most insurance networks as well. We'll bill your insurance. If they pay us, we'll reimburse you. And it usually covers future care, most insurances as well, including Medicare. So Medicare doesn't pay for that first visit, though. So if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. Stop suffering needlessly. It breaks my heart, and I mean this, when I go into a grocery store and I see somebody morbidly obese in one of those little scooter carts, and they're loading up their cart with ice cream and cookies and cakes and donuts. I see people on government assistance, and they're feeding the kids sugar and donuts and junk. How do you break that cycle? You break that cycle by getting healthy. So drjoe.com. If you want a copy of today's show notes, just send me an email. You can say Diet Secrets if you want to in the email. I'll send you the notes absolutely free. It's my gift to you. If you want the course I did on weight loss, usually I sell it. It comes with a bunch of supplements as well. I'm not going to give you the supplements, but I'll give you the course. I'll give it to you for free. Just send me an email through the website, drjoe.com, and say weight loss course. I'll send it to you. It's my gift to you. If you want a copy of my book, Eating Right for the Health of It, that has recipes in it, Eating Right book, I'll send it to you for free. Why do I do all this? I'm at a point in my career where I love taking care of people. 40 years I've been doing this, and I've watched miracles happen, not every day, every hour of every day. I think I got the best job in the world. I'm not sure, but I think it's the best job in the world. And so I want to help you get well and stay well. So I'll give you the tools that you need. If you're willing to implement them, you want to become a patient, great. If not, here's the tools. Do what you want. But it hurts me when I see people. A friend of mine, I just saw on Facebook, a friend of mine, I went to high school with him. He married a girl 2 years younger than us, just died. And I saw a picture of her. She didn't look healthy. It was self-induced. Now, I don't know what she died of, but just looking at her picture, I can tell she was not eating right. So you have control of what's on your fork. So let's make decisions to get the best food in our body, the best supplements in our body, the best neurological chiropractic care, because you're worth it. And in the long run, it's going to be way cheaper than anything you're doing right now, too. Another thing we can do to help lose weight, keep moving. Stand up and move every chance you can. Little trick I do. I'll tell you what my tricks today. One of the tricks I do is I drink a lot of tea and waters. So I have to get up and pee a lot. Because otherwise, if I'm at my office and I'm not seeing patients, I'm doing paperwork. I'm answering questions on my website, drjoe.com, preparing show notes for lectures and radio shows, TV shows. So I can sit for hours and get lost. So I know if I drink a lot of water, it's good for me, but it also makes me get up and go pee. When I do my radio shows, my podcasts, my lectures, I'm always standing because that's a great way to keep the body in motion. And I love yard work. It's one of my favorite workouts is going out and working in the yard. And this way you're getting sunlight as well. But get out in the sun, folks, especially in the morning as the sun rises. If you can get out there and get some sunlight on your body, phenomenal what it does to your body. So keep the body in motion. Now, you don't have to go to the gym. You could clean a house, move furniture, paint. Well, paint's a lot of toxic chemicals, maybe not paint. But find an excuse to move. And cleaning house is a real good excuse. A lot of benefits to that. Now, my house, I don't have any carpet. I only have hardwood and tile because carpet is just a breeding ground for viruses, germs, bacteria, fungus. Not a fan of carpet, needless to say. Make sure you're drinking water, not booze, because many times when you're hungry, you're not hungry, you're thirsty. And so I'm going to give you a real simple tip. 12 ounces, 16 ounces of water about a half hour before every meal. You will eat so much less food. You'll be amazed. Because the same part of your brain, the hypothalamus, controls hunger and thirst when you're an infant. And as you become a toddler, the brain grows together. The hypothalamus grows together. And the same part of the brain that controls hunger controls thirst. And when they grow together, you have a real tough time distinguishing between hunger and thirst. So many times you're not hungry, you're thirsty. Have the water. It's free. Get the bad food out of the house. I've said this before. I'll say it a million times over. And people say, well, Dr. Joe, I just bought ice cream. When I finish it. I just bought cookies. When I finish them. No, now. Throw it away. I know it's hard, but that's part of that process you're going through to become a stronger person. Because if you don't like wasting money, that's going to hurt you. You're not going to do it again anymore. Be careful with your liquid calories. Because liquid calories, milkshakes, alcohol. Alcohol lowers your testosterone level. Testosterone helps build muscle mass, which helps burn calories. So I don't drink, and I wish nobody did. But if you're going to drink, at least an extra dose of Super Greens Essential Source and B Complex every time you go drinking. So in the morning, you should be doing Super Greens Essential Source, B Complex, and vitamin D anyway. Second dose if you're going to go out drinking. And then 3 glasses of water for every drink that you have, because that's going to help rehydrate the body. And many times when you're hungry, you're not hungry, you're thirsty. So I get drunk, I pee all out of my fluid out, I wake up in the morning, I'm starving. You're not starving, you're just dehydrated. So that's another tip too. Stress raises something called cortisol levels, and cortisol causes you to lay down fat. Fat produces estrogen, which causes you to lay down fat. Once again, you're Elvis Presley, baby. You're caught in a trap. And so you got to bring those stress levels down. There's 3 types of stress: chemical, physical, and emotional. Physical, my team of doctors are really good at. Neck pain, back pain, knee pain, shoulder pain. My team of doctors are amazing at getting to the cause of the pain. Faster, quicker, cheaper, and safer than any other way that I know of in most cases. So if you want to make an appointment, drjoe.com. Digestive system, that's how we produce our hormones that control our brain and our neurotransmitters. So if the digestive system isn't working, our brain isn't working, we can have emotional issues. We've all been through some tough times. I'm the only remaining member of my family. It's tough when you bury your sister and your parents. A lot of emotional stuff there. But I know I have to take care of my digestive system to make sure my brain can produce the neurotransmitters to help me deal with those impacts. It was years ago, and it's still there. I remember my cousin put my arm around me at my mother's funeral. She said, "You never get over it, you just get used to it." Big statement right there. You never get over it, you just get used to it. You shouldn't get over it. And the reason I say that is that means you had a good relationship with that person. Even a breakup. If it was a good relationship and the person did something and, that means you had a good relationship. If you get over it real quickly, probably didn't have a good relationship anyway. But I know going through the deaths of, and I've come from a big Italian family, I've been to a lot of funerals, I had to always work on my digestive system every time I had to go through it so that my brain can produce the neurotransmitter so I can reboot essentially from the trauma. So physical stress, come see us. Emotional stress, come see us, and let's work on the diet and the digestive system. And then the chemical stress, I'm here to help you. And if you have any health questions, send it to me through my website, drjoe.com. Happy to answer your questions for you. Any question. I probably have an answer for you. All right, I didn't cover all my notes. If you want a copy of today's show notes, just go to my website, drjoe.com. Say Diet Secrets. I will send you a copy of the notes. Diet Secrets, my gift to you. If you want the course I did on weight loss, you can send me an email through the website. Just say weight loss course. I'll send it to you absolutely free. My gift to you. Any health questions, send it to me. I will answer them personally. Social media. We post at least twice a day, sometimes more. Sometimes I'll do a restaurant review. Hey, I'm at this restaurant. This was the best choice you could make. Hey, I found this cool place, this new grocery store. Try these new foods. These things are on sale. So follow me on social media. There's a lot of benefits to doing that. Dr. Joe Esposito. Facebook is the Dr. Joe Esposito. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. If you like podcasts, we do 2 podcasts a week. Dr. Joe for the Health of It. Dr. Joe for the Health of It. Go to your podcast service, subscribe, and you'll get 2 podcasts a week. Sometimes more. Sometimes we throw an extra bonus in there too. And if you want to see my pretty face, we have a YouTube channel, and you get to watch my pretty face. Some people are visual. So, folks, I want to be your doctor. I want to get to the cause of your healthcare problems, not just treat the symptoms. So send me your questions, book an appointment, get the supplements, drjoe.com. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time. Questions?
I need to improve my high blood pressure even though I don't feel bad at all.
Well, yeah, that's it. Blood pressure doesn't hurt. And that's why when we treat patients, we tell you that 90% of your nerves don't feel pain, so you can have pinched nerves and not know it. And in my office, we test the nerves that feel pain, and we test the nerves that don't feel pain. So I have a course that I did on blood pressure. I'll send it to you, my gift to you. It's drjoe.com. Just say I want the blood pressure course. But the supplement to start with right away is Dr. Joe's nitric oxide support. Nitric oxide opens up the blood vessels and helps lower the blood pressure. Then we got to fix your digestive system because it's controlled by the vagus nerve, which also controls the heart. Digestive problems can cause high blood pressure. And then we got to look at your diet. So send me an email, drjoe.com. I'll send you the course, my gift to you. But while you're there, order the nitric oxide to start. What else?
Are pinto beans or black beans more nutritious?
A guess would be black beans only because they're a little darker, but they're both great. Just make sure they don't have lard in them. Sometimes Mexican restaurants puts lard in there, and that's not something you want to eat. So if I had to pick one, probably black beans, but that's a guess. What else?
Are air fryers okay?
I'm not a fan. And the reason is that they have Teflon coatings and it releases a lot of toxic chemicals into the food. I'd rather you get, I know Sharper Image has a glass dome air fryer, and that one's okay, so it's glass. And I'm seeing a lot of the companies now coming out with glass compartments because people like me are telling them, hey, don't use these things, they're toxic. So if it's a glass container, I'm probably okay with it. Or just get a little oven. I have a little oven that I use, or a big oven, but that would be a better choice. But glass or an oven, but not the Teflon ones. What else?
It seems to me that French fries and potato chips should be stopped, and we should start from scratch with a simple, clean potato.
Yeah. Yeah, French fries and potato chips, when they heat it, it creates something called acrylamides. Acrylamides are linked to cancer. The fats go rancid. They change their molecular structure. So I agree with you. Yeah, have a plain potato, put a little extra virgin organic olive oil on it. You'll be okay. What else?
Is a moringa supplement good to take?
Sure, moringa's fine. It's not a miracle cure, but it's fine. I have no problem with it, yeah. What else?
How do you feel about peptides?
I'm investigating them right now, as a matter of fact. I'm doing a lot of research into the peptide world. You got to be careful because a lot of them aren't regulated. So a lot of them are junk. A lot of them don't work because it's not really a peptide. So there's no regulation on them, so that's a concern of mine. So I'm looking into them now. I'm looking into companies I can trust, and I may be talking about peptides in the future. But right now, we're on hold with that. So what else?
I work at a country club, and I see people working out in the morning, and then they'll shower, and then they sit at the bar drinking. These are rich people and doctors. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure, it's not good. Just because you're rich doesn't mean you're smart. So yeah, it is kind of silly. If you're going to work out to build muscle and build testosterone and then go drinking, it makes no sense. So, yeah, there's nothing to elaborate on. It's not a good idea. So it's stupid. So, what else?
That's all.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Please follow me on all platforms. That's your homework. You know that. And any questions or make an appointment, drjoe.com.